Everyone in the towering glass building knew one thing: the CEO's daughter, little Emma, was blind. She moved quietly, always holding onto her mother's hand, and no one questioned it. After all, who would dare? But Daniel, the janitor, noticed things others didn't. A single dad who worked late shifts to raise his own daughter, he often stayed behind when the office emptied. And that's when he saw Emma, alone in the corridor, tracing her fingers along the wall. She paused at a fallen pencil, hesitated, then picked it up perfectly, without fumbling. Daniel froze. Blind children can't do that, he thought. Another night, he caught her staring at the glow of a vending machine. Her eyes widened, just for a moment, before she quickly shut them, as if pretending. Why would a mother tell the world her daughter was blind, if she wasn't? Daniel couldn't shake the thought. He knew what it meant to hide pain. His own daughter, Lily, sometimes went to bed hungry so he could save money for her school shoes. But lying about blindness? That was something else. The next morning, as he mopped the lobby, Emma tugged at his sleeve. "You're kind," she whispered. "Don't tell Mommy, but I can see." His heart stopped. The CEO's daughter wasn't blind at all. And now, Daniel carried a secret powerful enough to change both their lives forever. Daniel stood frozen, mop in hand, as Emma's words sank in. You can see?" he whispered. Emma nodded quickly, her small hands trembling. "But Mommy doesn't want anyone to know. She says people will treat me better if they think I'm weak." The janitor's chest tightened. A mother, a CEO, hiding her daughter's sight? It didn't make sense. But the fear in Emma's eyes was real. Daniel knelt, lowering his voice. "Sweetheart, why would your mom want that?" Emma bit her lip. "She says when people think I'm blind, they don't expect too much of me. She doesn't want me hurt, or disappointed." Daniel felt anger rise, but also sadness. He knew what disappointment felt like. He'd once promised Lily a birthday cake, only to break that promise when rent came due. But lying to protect a child? That wasn't protection, it was a prison. "Emma," he said gently, "your sight is a gift. You don't need to hide it." Before she could answer, heels clicked sharply behind them. The CEO herself, Ms. Harrington, strode into the lobby, her icy gaze narrowing at the sight of her daughter with the janitor. "Emma," she said firmly, "time to go." Emma's hand slipped from Daniel's as she followed her mother. For a moment, she glanced back, her eyes pleading, "Don't tell." Daniel's heart pounded. He was just a janitor. A single dad. He couldn't afford to lose his job. But he also couldn't stand by while a little girl was forced to live a lie. That night, as he tucked Lily into bed, her words echoed in his mind, "Daddy, you always say truth makes us free." Daniel knew then, he couldn't stay silent forever. The next morning, Daniel walked into the building with a heavy heart. Every corner seemed to whisper the secret he now carried. He tried to distract himself with his usual routine, scrubbing windows, emptying trash bins, fixing a leaky faucet, but Emma's voice echoed in his mind, "Don't tell Mommy, but I can see." At lunch, he saw Emma sitting alone in the company garden. She had a picture book in her lap, upside down. When she noticed him watching, she quickly shut it. Daniel sat beside her. "Emma, you shouldn't have to hide who you are." She looked down. "You don't understand. Mommy says if people know I can see, they'll expect me to be perfect. And if I fail, she'll be ashamed." Daniel's heart broke. He thought of Lily, who often scribbled crooked hearts on scrap paper and proudly showed them off. He never once asked her to be perfect, only to try. "You deserve to be proud of who you are, Emma," he said softly. She blinked back tears. "Will you help me?" Daniel hesitated. Helping her meant going against the most powerful woman in the company. One word, and he could lose everything, his job, his paycheck, Lily's school fees. But then Emma's small hand reached for his. "You're the only one I trust." That evening, Daniel walked Lily home from school. She skipped ahead, humming, while Daniel wrestled with his decision. "Daddy," Lily called, holding up a flower she'd plucked, "sometimes the prettiest things grow where nobody looks." Her innocence struck him like lightning. Emma was just like that flower, hidden away, her true beauty unseen. And Daniel realized, some risks were worth taking. He had to find a way to give Emma her freedom. The next day, Daniel was polishing the lobby floor when he heard soft laughter echoing from the CEO's office. Curious, he glanced up, and froze. Through the half-open door, Emma was twirling around the office chair, arms wide, eyes sparkling. She was dancing. Not fumbling, not stumbling, moving with the confidence of a child who could see everything. But then the laughter stopped. Ms. Harrington stepped in, her face pale with panic. "Emma," she snapped. "Sit down this instant." Daniel ducked back, his heart pounding. The secret wasn't just Emma's, it was her mother's, too. That evening, Emma found him in the hallway. "Did you see me?" she whispered. Daniel nodded. "Emma, you can't hide forever. The world deserves to know the real you." Tears welled in her eyes. "But if Mommy finds out, you know, she'll fire you." Daniel knelt, his voice steady. "I've lost things before, Emma. But the worst thing anyone can lose is their truth. I won't let you lose yours." Before Emma could answer, Ms. Harrington's voice cut through the silence. "Mr. Daniels." Daniel stood quickly, meeting her sharp gaze. She folded her arms, suspicion flashing in her eyes. "I hope you remember your place. My daughter is delicate. She doesn't need janitors filling her head with ideas." Daniel swallowed hard. Every instinct told him to stay quiet, to protect his job. But behind Ms. Harrington, he saw Emma's eyes, pleading, desperate, hopeful. And for the first time in years, Daniel spoke with a courage he didn't know he had. "Ma'am," he said firmly, "your daughter isn't fragile. She's stronger than you think. And she deserves to be seen for who she truly is." The room fell silent. The silence in the CEO's office was suffocating. Ms. Harrington's eyes narrowed, her jaw tight. "How dare you speak to me like that?" she hissed. "You're a janitor. Nothing more." Daniel's hands trembled, but he stood his ground. "Maybe so. But I'm also a father. And if my daughter ever had a gift like Emma's, I'd never lock it away." For a moment, the CEO's mask cracked. Her eyes softened, just a flicker, before she turned away. "You don't understand. The world is cruel. I wanted to protect her." Emma stepped forward, her voice small but steady. "Mommy. I don't need protecting. I need living. Please, let me be me." Tears pooled in her mother's eyes, but pride fought to hold them back. Daniel could see it, the battle between fear and love. Then Lily, who had been waiting quietly in the hall, peeked in. "My daddy says love means letting people shine," she said innocently. Something shifted in the room. Ms. Harrington's shoulders dropped, the icy wall around her breaking at last. She knelt, cupping Emma's face. "I thought hiding your sight would keep you safe, but maybe I've only kept you small." Emma threw her arms around her mother, whispering, "I just want to see the world, with you." Daniel turned to leave quietly, but Ms. Harrington's voice stopped him. "Mr. Daniels, thank you. Sometimes it takes a stranger to show us the truth." For the first time, she smiled, genuine and warm. Weeks later, the company hosted a charity event. Emma walked on stage, reading her speech aloud, eyes shining, voice steady. The audience erupted in applause. In the crowd, Daniel squeezed Lily's hand, his heart swelling. Because kindness had freed not just Emma, but everyone who dared to believe in her.